We are live outside one of Toronto's very first self-service libraries, meaning this library is open despite the fact that there is no staff operating inside. All you need is a library card that you scan right here and then a PIN that you enter, that you get when you register for one of these staffless libraries, and then in you go. Now, I personally don't have one of those cards, so I can't get in. It's one of the ways Toronto Public Library says they're keeping these spaces safe and secure, but at least one group says it is just too risky to do something like this in a big city.
We are taking these signs out when we do door-to-door.
The blue signs popping up on lawns in the neighborhoods surrounding the very first self-service libraries in the city. Toronto Public Library moving forward with the pilot project despite the union's attempts to block it.
People are concerned with staffless libraries. They don't agree with them.
But two branches are now operating without staff during extended hours. Todd Morden, located on the city's east end on Pape Avenue, and Swansea on the city's west end near Hyde Park. The two smallest libraries in the city that had the fewest operating hours.
We thought it would be an innovative and cost-effective plan to try for a year. We hear from people over and over again that they want more access to library spaces and library collections and library branches.
We believe that if you're going to extend the hours, you should have staff there to service the people that are using it.
8 years ago, some of these smaller branches were on the chopping block. Then City Councillor Doug Ford calling them a waste of money and space.
Within a 4 or 5 mile square, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that little square down here, you got 9. Then you got up here 10, 11. These are blocks away from each other. Blocks.
So extending hours without using any additional money may actually be helping to save these little libraries. But the union says never before has there been a staffless library in a large Canadian city, and the safety risks outweigh any benefits. They tell us violent incidents at libraries have been on the rise since 2015. Just last week, shots were fired inside Downsview Public Library after a fight broke out between two men. But Toronto Public Library says safeguards are in place to protect patrons.
We consulted with Toronto Police on the space, and every square inch of these 550 square feet is monitored by a camera.
If something happens, a camera is not going to help them at that moment.
Since the project launched at the end of November, no incidents have been reported. And so far, patrons seem to be enjoying the idea.
I think it's wonderful. It gives access to the average Joe, and it's your own comfort, and you can come whenever you want, but you have to take an extra responsible effort not to let every Tom, Dick, and Harry inside.
Apart from safety, the union is flagging one other major concern, that the project could one day result in job cuts. One of the biggest concerns I'm hearing from the union is that this might be a slippery slope and this might happen at other libraries. Are there plans to do this at any other libraries?
No, we won't be expanding beyond these two locations.
Now, this Todd Morden location has been operating as a staffless library since the end of November, and Toronto Public Library tells me the idea is picking up steam. So far, more than 100 people have registered to use it as a staffless library.